their absolute best CS. I mean, where they're going up against a team that will probably at the end of the year have 3 players in the top 10, which very few rosters in history have ever done that, if ever. I think that Na'Vi with Bit, Simple, and Electronic pulled that off for the first time for a team. Astralis actually, I guess, at their peak. You know what I mean? Like, this is the level at which FaZe are playing.
Rosters. Yeah. Teams with their names etched in the history book.
Brokey is literally flirting with best player of the year for a few months.
Imagine that.
Has fallen off a little bit in this major, and might need him to play a bit better. But then on the other side of that, Kerrigan's having an insanely good stage so far, and it is actually important that he plays well because of the amount of opportunities for him to take the opening fights. That's always been the storyline with Kerrigan. So let's see what kind of CS both these teams are going to bring for us in this 2-1 matchup. Winner gets in front of the crowd, and that's what it's all about here at this point.
It's an important game, man.
Yeah.
It's an important game, and we're talking about a Copenhagen Flames who definitely want to improve on what they showed us in Stockholm. That's where they shocked us by getting into the Legend stage, or excuse me, to the Major.
This is the Major.
This is the Major now.
Yes.
And the playoffs, yeah, that's the real prized possession. There are doubts here on Inferno for Copenhagen Flames. There are doubts. They know it. We know it. Jabby gets at least 1 kill inside of the CT spawn, but that man advantage from FaZe. The wrap around into the B site continues. Hooksy. Woo, that's a nice little shave off of the flank. He's got 2 more players to deal with. Here's the bomb, so that's all the numbers confirmed. CTs can rotate knowing no lurks. And they both come in from Banana. Now, the kit for the retake is deep in construction.
And that's being guarded right now. So Siphon and Nikodas will have to pull off the impossible on this retake. Let's see if they can do it.
Nah, not like that. Kerrigan, quick close as Siphon is peeked by all 3, and FaZe will take that T-side pistol. So we heard Maui Snake, of course, on the desk, just saying it how it truthfully is. He said he'd be shocked if there was 8 rounds on this CT side of Inferno.
Yeah, so, FaZe at one point, I'm not sure if the stats still reflect this, but first or second best in terms of their T-side statistics in the world, which is, by far the hardest side these days, considering the way that the map pool is lean now with droppable grenades and the M4A1S being really powerful. So that says a lot about Kerrigan's calling and, yeah, how good this team is on the attack. So let's see what they'll do now. Pace is pretty quick. Pressure to the top of Banana. Yavi and Hooksy were 2 also that Maui pointed out have specific struggles and when it comes to taking Banana control. That's where he said they'll struggle. We haven't had the pleasure of casting Copenhagen Flames playing so far in the Legend stage. So it will be good to watch.
Fall back from Banana with the util. They go for the deep nades, and it's not nearly enough damage to try and follow up with that pistol push. So a retreat instead. Flashbang still being held by this B site, and a quick little move over from Nikodas.
Yeah, they're throwing the bomb back, though. It feels like this is actually just going to try to sell a bill of goods, and I think, and it's worked. They've got 3 CTs waiting for the Banana hit to come down. Smoke actually means nothing. FaZe made this decision before they had the info, and Siphon, with only the Mag 7 sitting inside the boiler, goes down. So this will be open lines onto the site. The last remaining utility will come out to stop the rotators from coming in the Arch Smoke and Moto, and Pit is totally clean. FaZe can drop their shoulders a bit, put this bomb down, and know that Copenhagen will take some armor and upgraded pistols into the next round. That's all they'll have to try to chew through. But for now, so far so good.
Clean, easy on the 2-0. Everybody's still moving those weapons forward. Dude, this is good. This is good. What we need to see from Copenhagen Flames is the best that they can offer. That involves Roy getting back to his day 1 stats. That involves Nikodas dominating with the op.
Best opper in Denmark.
And if we're going to say that unironically, then this would be the game where he shows us that next level, that he shows us that value.
Otherwise, we have to echo Pimp and say Denmark can do better.
Yeah. Yabi also, I think, has to be right there with his rifle play. He's low-key. Just low-key because an unassuming guy. Real quiet. You don't get to hear many interviews from Yabi.
Yabi's a beast.
But he is an absolute monster in the server when it comes to CS.
Yeah, he's the most promising rifler I see on this team. Him and, of course, Roy's sucking up a lot of stats. He's actually amazing. But I feel like Yabi is one for the future for sure. But here's where they try to etch their name into, into stone for people to remember and not doubt them moving forward. Because outside of majors, Copenhagen Flames' results are very disappointing. Right? They lose to random teams, basically. It's a huge compliment to say you only play better versus good teams, but most of your games are not going to be versus teams like this.
They are on lanners with an asterisk next to a lot of other results. And we say, Yabi is one for the future, but this is also a team that is fighting to be one for now. Map up versus Spirit yesterday with the playoffs on the line, and they fumbled it here versus just the Pistols. The B site, they get past the first two. Nikodaw's element of surprise. Eagle into the head of Brokey. Can't manage to keep that one under control, so Reigns Mac 10 washes him away. And we have 4 up from FaZe in their 3rd consecutive round win. Nice and easy for the T-side start of Inferno, as per all expectations.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to dominate. The pace is so high right now from FaZe.
Suffocating.
We'll see if they slow it down, but right now, that was pretty clinical. I mean, overstacking the site. Problem, of course, when you leave top banana open is full B execs are hard to stop. Even if they had all rifles in these positions, all these positions can also be mollied out and naded, and it's very hard to stop T's crossing pool with their headshot angle fighting to the back. So Hooksy is going to attempt to maybe stop them from totally saving, but they'll find it. There's a chance. No, Twist protects him. Bodyguard here for Kerrigan, and FaZe win 3-0. Full buy comes in. Nikodaz is saved up for the op. Instant purchases, and this is the round they've all been talking about. Let's see if they can put up a defense.
And as we go into it, man, Kerrigan, highest rated player on FaZe right now. Isn't that wild?
Yes, it is not a great sign, but at the same time, it is still really important that Kerrigan plays well.
Yes.
But when we ask Kerrigan to play well, we're not asking him to be the best player on the team, right? That should be Brokey, that should be Twist, that should be Robs. And in a larger sample size of games, that will cost them matches if Kerrigan is the #1 rated player. That doesn't really make sense. But for Kerrigan, it's all about raising his floor, especially on T side.
So great sign at the start of the event.
Yeah.
Twists underneath the wall. We get to walk up in the apartments from Rops. And Banana, a highlighted question mark by Maniac and Maui Snake.
Does this arch smoke have a gap on the corner? I wonder if they left this open on purpose.
Yeah, you can see some legs. Yes, he can.
Oh, maybe not on purpose. Looks like it was a rough smoke.
Nikodaz with first blood in round 4.
He recognizes that opportunity as Kerrigan was going to try to phase it.
More smokes go down on the front of that B site, and it will be enough to turn Twists the other direction on 6 points of health. Ooh, Rain slides through the crosshair of Nikodaz, and he has taken a bunch of space, but he does have Roy very close. Excellent flashbang. Great support from Zyphon. Robs is going to run out having heard that, and Roy is so quickly on the return that he is looking for multi-kills. A 3K already as Brokey decides to walk back with that op and bomb. Roy.
He's got that old man strength.
Man of the hour here in round 4. Plugs the hole on Arch. Prevents this A-site from leaking a 4th round onto FaZe's scoreboard.
The timing was very tight there. I mean, Rain was about to smoke him out of that position and then be able to join the fight after the lane hit came in. Caused some real trouble for the CT side, but Zyphon flashed for him from pit, allowed him to take that timing to kill Rain, and he immediately understood there with no one else on Arch. First of all, it was going to be an A attack. And secondly, he now has time to actually get back into the site to stop the lane hit from coming in. And his rotation is really good to the side of default after this first kill. Again, open lines right here. And even protects Zyphon up on the halls. That was a really good start from Nikodaz, recognizing opportunity with a miss smoked from FaZe. That's something to watch for. You don't want to give 5v4s like that. And Rain nearly made things scary. We've got to give some credit to Rain, too, actually. He's been playing pretty damn well overall. I think he had one bad nap and a couple very good ones.
Ooh, nade for Twists. Perfectly missed.
Yeah. Okay, they get him with the molly.
All right.
He didn't right-left it.
Right, yeah, it looked like it was going to dunk on him, but Twist just minimized himself. Unfortunate for Twist that the fire's right there with it. So, back-to-back, 5 versus 4 for Copenhagen Flames once they've had guns. Nikita's starting to lean over towards the B site.
Interesting. We have the out buy up here from Brokey. Arch wrap smokes come in. 2 in pit. Rotators are smoked, so Yabby, he's going to maybe look for some spam damage, and Roy always putting himself in position to... Oh! That was a very committal spot to go to.
Siphon's turn. Last round didn't have to do much because of Roy's assistance. He cuts off player from apartments. They still think maybe he's up there, but in reality, Siphon, he's right behind Kerrigan, not even watching him. Yabby gets one over towards Arch through smoke, and Brokey, again, back-to-back rounds, is just going to walk away to save this off.
That was very strange, actually, to not realize he could be in Big Pit. I'm not sure why they were so certain he crossed over to Mini.
Looked like Kerrigan still maybe assumed that he had played from Porch, that he got the first kill from Porch, because that's where he was last round.
Looks like there might have been a miscomm there.
They expect him to be above and having maybe dropped straight under, but...
Brokey gets the one trade on Roy, and it looked like it was the important one, but that was not the case. The rotators do help out. So we can see from the X's on the map, there was some action from 2 players that came through CT, and they stopped that Arch wrap from getting too out of hand, basically. It's a tough job to know when you can enter the fight. When you do get smoked out in CT spawn, you always have the temptation to wait in case the round starts to slow to a crawl, and you think, well, maybe we want to wait this out in case we go to CT spawn, and the T's don't end up wrapping towards A. But in this situation, they were really good in recognizing that it will be an A hit. We have to start to fight now, and they've been doing a good job of protecting each other. I think that's the big thing with Flames right now.
Yeah, really good tethering inside that site.
Refreshing positions, stopping Arch from getting out of control, and that's where, yeah, all the emphasis has been on. You can see that FaZe are consistently trying to make Arch as vulnerable as possible. All the smokes, keep attacking the Opera Nikadas on the corner, but Copenhagen are not letting them have it. Still another buy, this time no off from Brokey. And I don't know if they're... Oh, wow. Yabby through the total Flames. He's going to get spotted in this corner. There's no help for him to get out, so that is a big find. Hooksy was actually left on no flashes for Yabby to escape. And they could have mollied, or they could have smoked his position as well, but maybe they felt like that if they smoked it, all that would do is extend the time before he dies. Still might have been a better play than just letting him fight with no support.
Last 2 5v4s for Copenhagen Flames were held on to in a healthier way. This could be FaZe to crack through when their money's against the wall. I'm going to test this A site once again. Nobody over towards pit, which had been Siphon.
Jesus.
Instant deletion, and Nikadas, he is pinned into the corner, so Brokey with a quick trade. That op, 3 rounds deep, is going to find its impact as he just drops Roy on the Arch side, and that's going to turn Hooksy away. He is done here. It is over for Copenhagen Flames as FaZe's 4th connects. Maybe Hooksy decides to come back. Oh, yeah, just to whoop, whoop.
Just could get the op and get out. They're going to see him leaving now, though. That's the thing. So T's will start to peel out of their spots and chase him down into this position. There might be some pressure on Hooksy in this save. I wonder to what extent FaZe will go through to try to kill him. It looks like they're not going to put too much emphasis on this. See if he makes a mistake. If not, they'll let him live. So that's a nice pickup from Hooksy. The crossfire that Flame set up made a lot of sense, actually. On the burst on mid, they read it correctly, but there's a little X factor there. We had Kerrigan with the Gleal hit that fantastic shot basically into lane, and that was risky for Nikadas to be in the corner, but that's one where they could snowball. If both players stay alive, they get the first kill, they could have dominated the push up to mid, and then there would be no T's, basically, that could even get to the site. And that would also solve their problems of giving up bracket control, which they obviously feel uncomfortable about doing so. But Brokey, great shots. I mean, That op also makes a difference. If Nikodas goes for a repeak and there's only a rifler waiting for him, there's a chance he multi-frags.
He's been keeping that thing like a family heirloom, hanging on as Nikodas with Hooksy come down Banana, 2 kills for it, 5 versus 3, the biggest advantage we've seen from them since they started buying guns. And Nikodas is able to dodge that frag grenade, which could have killed him had it caught him. A little bit of Banana pressure applied by utility here. Coffin, smoke, Molotov at the top of it, and a very quick grab of the bomb here from Kerrigan. Look at a transport. Brokey's upwards. Hooksy attacks it though over the fire. Rops doesn't see it coming, and Kerrigan will hit that op shot. But then the peek from the balcony. That's what costs Kerrigan. Rain answers it, but this is a 1v5, and he looks away from the smoke as Hooksy comes back through that utility twice, man. Sneaky Hooksy today.
Yeah, he is. He has been just floating around. Hard to read. Everybody goes down. I mean, Flames are playing super well, and they're really not playing scared of FaZe. They're not allowing them to get through with the executes. I mean, very few of these rounds are coming down to bomb plants since the first couple. And they have actually worked through all the money left on FaZe, so there's just this AK on Rops, and they made a concentrated effort to try to get Brokey on the op a couple of times, and it has actually made a difference, which again, you just don't see it that much T-side Inferno. So I wonder if they're gonna try to get it again in the future, so that'll limit the amount of full buys they can get. Brokey putting in the Konami code before he throws this smoke.
12.5 buttons later, it's lined up.
They throw a bad arch smoke. I don't know how their arch smokes keep missing.
Tech9's pushed very close. Flashbang comes over for it. Zyphon's going to eat it, and then suddenly when he regains vision, there's Tech9's all around him. But Hooksy, he's got a helping hand with 3.
Get you a friend like Hooksy.
Kills them all, including that AK on Rops, what was meant to be the biggest problem. Tech9 from Brokey eventually comes and joins his teammates after trying to set them up, and that is empty-handed for the side of FaZe Clan.
Sometimes smokes get missed on purpose, and you have to judge based on the map. Like, did they do that? I think the one where they threw it versus Nikodas, it clearly was a bad smoke or slightly off. This one was just so off that it seemed like maybe they did it to keep anybody at Arch staring into mid, trying to punish this opportunity. And since it was a full Halls waterfall, there's a chance that FaZe did actually throw this on, wrong on purpose. Could leave it open.
Rain on the entry, sends one over the shoulder of Nikodas. And no forward lane setup this time from Copenhagen Flames. They're going to lean back into that pit. Just looking to deal with the pistol pressure. But so far, so good for Copenhagen Flames. This is, of course, remember the 3-0 start from FaZe off of the pistol round win. Rifle rounds have looked strong.
The reinforcements from Hooksy this time over on B.
Quick swing. Uh-oh. Oh! You couldn't do that twice. Nade lands on the half wall. That's an Easter egg. Cool.
Well, they haven't got much out of that. Back to Nikodas.
Yeah. That op gonna lock in another kill. A little bit of a split with Robs going up into the apartments. That'll keep him away from the other 2. The future of FaZe in these 3 players. Talented core. Deagle through the wall. Zyphon, arguably, lucky to be alive at this point. Oh, excuse me, no, it was a P250, not the Deeg. Not the Deeg. Zyphon will catch them just jumping around. Twist is going to finish off what he started. Roy, nice little snap back onto that box.
Right.
3 kills easy inside sight.
Roy's been cooling. Dude, Copenhagen playing good CS right now, man. I mean, they're keeping up. I wouldn't even say FaZe are playing badly by any means. It's a lot of pressure to deal with. The individuals look fine. They look comfortable. They're not scared of FaZe, and this T side will have to be earned. They're gonna have to go to their limits. I think what we've seen is that probably the best part about Kerrigan is the longer the game goes on, the better the calls get, because he actually does a good job of actually using the information that he's seen in the past rounds to make the calls better and better. But early on, sometimes they'll have a slow start here or there.
Ooh, but right back into the rifle rounds, and we already have banana presence from Copenhagen Flames.
You got to really shout out Hooksy's support in a lot of these situations. All the flashes have been hitting. He's been doing a good job of being second to peak and not let his teammates die.
Individual levels looking very good from Flames.
Yeah.
Looking competitive, which is what we needed. And banana control, again, was a big question mark. It will be again on the T side. Not an easy thing to do. It was flagged coming into this game. But in terms of the defensive side of banana, that was good. Great start. Electric start, in fact. 2 kills that easily. Leaves what's left of FaZe to just maybe try their hand at a little bit of a B-pop. It's a 2v2 for now, but we already see Roy very quickly rotating through the CT spawn with an entire belt of utility.
Great AG grenade right there.
Rain comes through the side of that smoke. Hooksy's got him. Dead to rights. And Brokey 1v5. Nothing. Hooksy, solid round from him. An assistance towards that banana hold.
Yep, Hooksy's been pervasive. All his off angles have been solid. Again, his flash support has been beautiful. It's been round winning. Basically, we've seen him play almost every position on the map so far with the rifle. I can't remember Hooksy being this much of a rotator, and I think it's working out so beautifully. Really fun to watch him play so far. He said, I have to get a new co-commentator because after Flames didn't win 2-0, you put 5 Swedish flags under your tweets in your pick'ems. And Hooksy said that's the absolute worst thing you could do.
Man, I tried to make eye contact with him at breakfast this morning.
Yep.
He just looked away.
Just looked away. Yeah. You deserve nothing.
I said, good luck, Hooksy.
And then he said, and
he
then Connor
spat
said,
on the floor.
He spat on the floor.
Nice guys, the Copenhagen Flames, but yes, I am a little salty. I do still truly believe that the Spirit match will be their best chance, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe that they can still upset versus others. And so far today, it's looking good, man. All the pieces that need to connect are. And Brokey, he's got a little something on this one. Bomb plant, looking for that injection of money, but Roy has the 6th sense. He has it.
He felt that.
He's a card reader.
Yes, he was a blackjack dealer.
Once upon a time. Now, he's a Counter-Strike star. 7 rounds for Copenhagen Flames after a 0-3 start.
Yeah, with 5 straight and no signs of slowing down.
Feathers and bones. Best voice line in the game. Another gun round here from FaZe.
And now they'll look towards a slower default with Halls involved. But Flames have not been playing inside of Halls almost ever. They are comfortable giving this up. Again, it's where I think they've been their absolute most impressive is with their rotators from B to A. B side ultimate is just fine. They're up in trades at the starts of rounds on Banana themselves. But this so far is a good start from FaZe. They draw out a lot of CT utility. They take over top Banana without losing any damage even. Health bars are full. They can peel back. And immediately Copenhagen Flames come to steal this information, but they keep 3 here.
Oh, nade is excellent for Yabby, but 2 headshots with the bomb dropped at his feet. He's on 40 health, and it's just 1-2 straight between the eyes of FaZe's 2 peaks. Damn. And we tried to hype up Yabby, but we hadn't really seen a round from him yet. He was pretty quiet at 5 and 3, just everybody else doing their jobs around him. Here, though, he fights again with a 3rd from him. Brokey, double kill back the other way, wants to chase, smokes on both sides of this bomb site, pushes through, gets another kill, but as he pulls out that bomb, Roy pulls him back to reality. Copenhagen Flames continue on.
They keep playing like this, they'll win. They're just the better team right now. Here is a good call from Kerrigan. They decide to attempt to wait out the first initial volley of grenades, That works out. No damage at that point. They get to the half wall. They take over top banana, but then they peel back and wait for the re-aggression. They specifically knew that the coffin splash was going to come in this position, and then they jumped to the attack, and Yabby traded out 2 without dying. I mean, that's a moment where you're like, okay, now we've got good calls that aren't working out here for FaZe. What happens next? And they immediately go into a fast attack towards A.
Changing up that tempo. Nikita is able to posture inside library. Rain, nice dig. Royd, better trade. Puts a quick end to that arch wrap.
And the molly on lane, that slows things down dramatically. That would have been solid if they had Roy in that spot. They could attack in this position as well.
Siphon drops down into the little pit, but yet again, Roy is not missing. He is everywhere on this A site. He's ahead of Arch when he needs to be, and because of that Molotov, just stopping lane for a moment, lets him get right back into the mix, and lets Copenhagen Flames continue to a 9-4 lead.
None of their fights are too difficult. I love the call from FaZe to go that quickly into A. After what just happened, that might be a moment where you celebrate a little bit if you're Copenhagen. Like, things are working out so beautifully. And you think FaZe are going to be foggy, they're going to be losing confidence, and FaZe say, no, let's just hit A super quickly. But still, Copenhagen stays sharp.
Seven-round streak from the Flames with no bomb plant.
And this is FaZe's map pick as well.
And we know that Ancient tends to be in the Flames' back pocket. They lost it versus Spirit yesterday, which kind of makes a little bit of a question. But look at this. Look at this pile of bodies from FaZe. Roy gets into it, 20 health left over for the repeat. They get him, but Jabby's right there to just apply that pressure and not give FaZe a chance to breathe, to gain a little momentum. He rounds that arch side, and Rob's looking for the entry inside sight. Nikadon's minimal cover, but Yabby does it all.
Oh man, Yabby. He was at B 2 seconds ago. Now he's on A. They did it again, man. The rotators, they're there so fast. Like, the bat signal gets put up, and they just know how to get in position to help out. I mean, like, considering the amount of pressure FaZe are putting on, Copenhagen are answering equally or maybe even more back with how quickly and comfortably they're rotating. Maybe FaZe need to try to fake because the rotations are so influenceable. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, that
wow.
nade. 2 players down to the 50s.
Man, I can't believe Nikados is opping card. He's done this a couple of times. It's actually worked out, too.
FaZe are getting rocked. They are getting rolled. There is an auto sniper in the hands of Hooksy.
Okay, but now Pit is dead. Bomb is in a spot where they can get it back. And they've established on the A side, so this is FaZe's best chance. Last round of the half. Can they put this together? They've attracted the attention of all of the defenders to rotate over, but now they are stuck behind smokes for once in their
half.
Once in their half.
After 8 rounds straight with no bomb plants, FaZe get it down. The best position that they have been in since they won that 4th. She felt ages ago. Utility starts to come out for the retake. Robs is toying with the idea of a flank, and sure enough, that one works out wonderfully. Nikados goes down, man advantage for FaZe to hang on to, and twists, gets Yabby. There we go, a 5th for FaZe at least.
That is
but a phenomenal CT side from Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, that was better than they've done before. That's such an improvement. You watch that and you wonder how they'd lose to anybody on CT side. Inferno, that was really good. What can you say? That round exemplified exactly what FaZe needed to do, was kill the A players and get the rotators smoked out. They hadn't been able to do that a single time, even though their game plan was dedicated to this one idea. And full credit for Copenhagen Flames for not getting scared whatsoever, keeping the communication high, which it must have been to have those rotations just be so fluid at all times. And then, again, over at the B site where it was brought up on the desk that might be a question for their weaker half of the map, Yabby did a great job. I mean, there was one time where he got isolated and killed and Hooksy didn't help him. Every other time after that, Hooksy was there supporting with flashes. Yabby's aim was fantastic. I mean, they just had no weaknesses.
Perfect formula for the Danes. While under threat from FaZe on Inferno. Robs falls onto the balcony. He's got 3 players coming at him. Lets the first one and the second and the third go by.
Oh!
Zyphon connects to the head. Brokey comes out from Boiler with a little bit of a recovery, but there's players all over the place, and Nikadaz still silently creeping through apartments. Brokey knows that he is in between. Oh, but he turns it into the Boiler kill. And now man advantage here for FaZe. So they can focus on the retake. They've dealt with that lurk. Everybody else inside this site or on Grave. And that contact versus Jabby, that's the start they need. Zyphon dead.
Wow.
And FaZe will start the second half with a pistol round win.
Small thing, but the efficacy of those flashbangs allowed enough leverage for the Arch players to get to a point where they could have some fair fights. So those 2 saves were huge, and of course Brokey's kill inside Boiler, that tips the scales entirely. The bottom half of the map, and the situation is empty at that point, and wow, they smoked him, all kerneled up within the site. So that's a big win. Can't let anything slip in a match like this.
Impact from Brokey there to find that Boiler lurk.
Yeah.
Clean kill too.
Been definitely doing okay. Rops, you don't have to see Rops slip in a position like that and not get a kill, especially on a pistol round. Let 3 go by. Yeah. Felt like he was comfortable with that idea, but maybe he shouldn't have felt so safe.
Time for Robs to try and turn this map around. He is currently 4-12.
Yeah, how often do you get to say that? Twist has also been the first or second best player over a longer period of time now for FaZe in terms of straight up impact. Number of important matches, he's been at the top of the scoreboard. 5 out of his last 6 maps have been above a 1.0 rating. Flames get a little bit of space here, but there's no real issue with FaZe peeling back. They aren't keeping eyes on Banana, so they'll feel a little bit insecure, pull an extra CT, but it is the right call, of course.
Roy gets past that flash.
Oh my god, Roy's in a great spot. Whoa, Brain ducks under that. Yeah. That's where Roy was holding for the crouch peek as well.
Little burst from the MP9, taps in from Rops, and that is an excellent conversion here from FaZe. But remember, they started the last half with a 3-0 start. You know, there are still red flags on this map for Copenhagen Flames. We need to wait to see how Banana Control starts going for the T side.
Yeah, I mean, those questions were mostly on CT, and they did such a good job there, so we'll see. But, yeah, we ended up talking more about how good FaZe are on T side and how poor Copenhagen Flames CT defenses can be. And the story has flipped, as a lot of stories have flipped at this Legends stage for certain teams and players.
Run down by Kerrigan. Wild spray from Rain with a trade. And damage onto Yabby. Copenhagen Flames want to keep up that B pressure.
Nikadaz already has an op, actually. It's a bit of a bonus here from FaZe. If they steal this op away, we'll see if they even win the round, though.
Yeah, Rain got away with 1 point of health.
Yeah.
Copenhagen Flames peel back ever so slightly.
There will be no gamble or stack, and there's enough utility to chill a little bit. You're asking for a lot from a FAMAS and a player with 1 HP and an MP9 to hold on to B. Could be the right call here from the Flames. We're talking no smokes playing quad. It's quite risky, but there is there's no molly left here for Copenhagen Flames, so it might be a spot where Brokey could save the day.
Wall of smokes comes over.
One HP rotation first.
Rob's trying to get the coffin. Brokey. Promise kill is good. Remember, Rain incredibly low HP. Robs versus 3. Oh! He gets Roy in the back of the head. Leaves Twist and Nikadaz in the 1v1, and Twist is going to give a little bit of space for the post plant. Now the op is looking to post up Twist is looking to rotate through. Deep line of sight. Contact confirmed.
Oh,
and he
what a
gets
shot.
the headshot on top.
Oh, man, that's a clutch shot right there. The single scope flick from Nikodas in the 1v1. Not only does he win the round, but he holds on to the op. That would have been happily taken by Twist, handed over to Brokey in this next round. And even though it's a tough bonus, as Robs finds a way to push through the smoke and pick up 2, it's saved here by Nikodas. What a shot. That one's nasty.
Great clutch.
Right in the head.
Early for this T side as well.
Keeping the lead. Can't sleep on these guys.
Rops opens up though. Zyphon's dead. Rops looking to peel away from this. Roy slow on the chase. We'll give him that space to tuck away.
Yeah, some damage, but no kill. But here's a situation where FaZe actually did good with the money. I mean, that was a round where it's like a bunny ears, quote, bonus, but usually in a round like that, you end up not being able to buy the next. It just costs too much. FaZe still put together a very healthy, 4 rifles, 1 MP9.
And do enough to pressure the T's away from the base of
They've
Banana.
got
We saw Yabi try to
with
tuck
a kill. Yeah.
Tried. He wanted to fight for it. Now they've been smoked off ever since. Kerrigan clearing all of these corners, burning the clock to 45.
I really like this from FaZe, kind of ready for anything.
Not shying away from the action.
Not getting ready any fast flanks, and Pit's wide open, so Graveyard will be the guy to watch to defend against this potential lurk.
CT's 1 flash, so it's just going to need to be the kills on the execution. Nobody inside of the pit. Hooksy first to die to Twist. Here comes the peek from Robs. He gets his second of the round. Yavi and Nikodas, though, still coming in from Arch. And Brokey, under pressure, up close. Nikodas hits that first shot, gunned down by Kerrigan as he slides in with that SMG again.
High pressure moment there.
Back and forth.
Yeah, really quick. Nice trade from Nikodas into Graveyard. That could have easily been a snowball from Rops after his first frag, because his main priority was taking out the halls, and then he has a headshot angle versus the site. But they stay focused. Nikodas, a very good opper in chaos, but somehow Brokey allows, I don't know, with his last bullet on his FAMAS, takes one out on the left side of default. If you want to talk about clutch, that has to count.
That one's going to send Copenhagen Flames back into the pistols.
Yeah.
Now the CT side gets stronger.
They definitely still look competent, but clearly they're going to have to work hard.
Yeah, going to have to wait for weapons too. Brokey going to post up. Rain peeking beyond with Robs, and everybody there. All 3 pieces triangulating kills as Kerrigan's now given the chance to move down and just sweep this away.
Yep.
It's only Glocks. What more can we expect, really?
Yep.
FaZe going to stabilize here. CT side starting well.
I think why FaZe win is they always play like they're winning, and I think sometimes that can make the rounds look a little uglier, but the fact of the matter is, like, they have full trust in Kerrigan. If you call something fast, they commit to it, and sometimes they fall hard, flat on their face on some of the execs, but almost every single round they've got an idea. If you suddenly start to look scared, FaZe will get fast so quickly that it's going to feel like indomitable. And I want to credit Copenhagen Flames for keeping up with that all the way through the first half. But that story doesn't change just because we switch over to defense for FaZe. They are willing to push.
Can't break that eye contact when you're playing versus FaZe.
That's it. Yeah, that really is it. They can sense the blood in the water.
Ooh, Robs thought maybe that reposition would help. Brokey misses his chance
God,
over towards
got
Boiler.
awkward. Yeah, stuck in the doorway. Oh, Hooksy opens up B as well.
5v2. Zyphon hits the headshot. Everything
What?
goes well for Copenhagen Flames. Guns, the name of the game.
Dude, you can't even stand in your default right now. They are everywhere. The stars aligned in that situation. Robs loses his trade. Brokey gets caught in the door. He was thinking about leaving as soon as Robs died. Jesus, that wasn't even the right
shot.
Yeah, the pre-aim wasn't even there for Zyphon. He still wins with the instant first bullet headshot, turning it to 2.
Dude, 4 insta headshots plus an op to end.
They are keeping the money honest for FaZe. The buys are coming in, but they're always a little sketchy.
Keeping this game tight. Sees the gun walking down mid, but do you deal with this?
Approach
How
this
do you
from
get him
alt.
out?
You approach it from alt.
And meanwhile, Yabi's just going to get the kill straight up. Kerrigan forced into the open, crosses over. Roy will be taken down to 20, but this is not much left for FaZe. An MP9, a FAMAS, no grenades barring Brokies.
This is a really good idea from Copenhagen Flames. They just wait this out because there will be a point where FaZe can no longer push. They don't have the utility to stay at the bottom of mid, and they haven't got their kill as well. They'll actually double up in logs. This is a huge risk, but it actually might be what they need to do. It's to call the bluff on Copenhagen Flames. If they're willing to use the utility they need to get out of this spot, that's one thing. Rain hasn't even shown his opponent that there's one more player here. Twist will eventually get mollied out. And yeah, he's stuck.
He's not going to take anything with him. Nikadaz with 2 critical kills right back after losing both of those close players. It's the Opper to create space, but Brokey opts right back.
Hold on.
Here comes Props towards mid, caught by Zyphon, an open A site, and now Brokey's going to be sending this all the way through CT.
Man, I don't know. Brokey doesn't even feel like he can win this. They don't have money to pull this off, and
13-9.
Damn, that late molly that they used, they might have used that molly just to take out Rain, who just died. It might have been the plan to throw that after the 2 players came in and incidentally caught Twist in that spot where it would have been a solid bait. If it was, they'll be clasping their hands and and thanking the man above for that, because that's the reason they're able to win this round. And we're at the point where FaZe have been pinching pennies to make sure they can get together like a competent buy that's healthy enough, but they always have the asterisk of low utility, and now they can't really save for the amount of utility that they need. And in this next round, they'll have to just work around this op and wait, but that'll be their last chance to secure the map, because we're in the critical territory, right? 12, 13, 14 rounds where one mistake can make the difference.
And unless Brokey goes massive with this solo op, from the top of B, he'll post. Pistol's getting close. Zeus for Rops. He gets burned out of his initial position. Nikadaz on logs. Yabi just playing the counter flash inside of the wall. Brokey, there's always a chance he just shoots that.
He knows how hard this flick is going to be, but he has to take a risk. It could be the top of the half wall that someone pops up on a boost. Hobbit Molly comes in, and he has no choice but to respect it. Again, the util is a problem.
Tries.
He'll get back, but now they got info. He's actually going to leave all the way to the A site and just hope. All right, bit of a sound bait.
Comes back. The off chance they give him a second serving. Gets into the open, still running the risk of losing this op.
Chance gone.
Pistol from Twists goes down. Rain will deagle back, so that's the top mid held for the moment. And remember, this is Zeus. Oh no, Rops. He feels like he wants to go for a bit of a peek, and now Rain's not able to trade out him like he did Twist. So A site falls to the Copenhagen Flames. They dodge the threat of Brokey, and a 14th round on the board for the Danes.
I think the setup made sense. Brokey looked for his chances. Did a good job of both taking a risk and fighting in multiple fronts, but at the same time, Copenhagen was super solid. Brokey loses the op. The question is, can he buy one again? This is the last chance for FaZe to get back into this match, or it's going to be way, way too easy. And again, their map pick here on Inferno.
And it felt like a shoe-in. You know, this wasn't a map pick where we had many questions, where we flagged the upset potential. It was supposed to be Copenhagen Flames starting where Spirit did yesterday, down a map, not up. They've got Ancient next. A titillating situation. And FaZe, well, they're not going to start hiding from it. No, they're going to take Rain, tied with Brokey for the most amount of frags, and try to use him to hold back this B play. Nice deep angle into Hooksy. 2 players were already ahead of that, and so Yabi, he's going to try to still work. Banana nearly catching that CT cross and finding Kerrigan instead on the fallback to the coffins. Yabi's going to run the risk. Oh, and
no way!
Close. Just barrel stuffs Rain.
Is that the kill that makes the difference? That the B site completely compromised. CTs immediately go back to A. and they might be hunted down in this spot. 3 guns, that will make a world of difference when this goes to 15. Yabby on the double entry. A 5v4 for FaZe instantly answered back, and that was so tricky. They mollied Hobbit with Yabby pushing through the half-wall smoke, not seeing anything there, and then he understood that he had an opportunity to catch CTs, expecting some space. Maybe they'll start setting up for some deep grenades on Banana from the site. Maybe they'll start readying a push again after the smoke comes up, and Yabby decides to run through half a molly to get any kind of advantage he can, and hits a ridiculous shot. It's like a 90-degree flick on Rain, who sets himself up beautifully to watch that smoke. So against all odds, Copenhagen Flames bring this back. And again, it comes with them not being afraid.
Second bullet, dude, just beats him over the head with the AK point blank.
Yeah, that was the difference between a round won and lost right there. Fresh smoke with a kill.
6 map points for Copenhagen Flames.
No op for FaZe.
This is FaZe winning both pistols, converting the first for 3, the second for 2.
Damn.
Twist gonna lock it in though. FaZe never go down without a fight, and as Twist dives back into the cover of Balk, we've got a spray towards Boiler, and we also have Brokey here inside of the smokes. Awkward situation, but then the T's kind of disappear for a second, and that'll give FaZe a chance to catch their breath.
Yeah, they didn't want to give him that bomb back, but Flames use all that fresh utility just to secure it. Give themselves a chance.
Double man advantage. Solid start for Twists. And of that, that 3-man core that we look to for FaZe, he has been the most quiet. But the quietest turned killer here in round 25. Solo mid-hold before his help arrived.
This would be a statement and a half. Okay, we've seen situations where neither B player can trade on the B side in 3-on-5. Okay, some extra nice utility. But Flames are finding gaps. They have Arch wide open. I mean, Brokey should absolutely still win this. But Zyphon's got nothing else to worry about at a player in CT spawn. Look at this clear coming in. Oh, he doesn't grab that frag. But on this T start to come back to him as they spot that the CTs have cheated over to the other side of the map. But Twist comes back in for more.
Third one chopped down. Nikodaz gonna answer. We've got the mid player in Rops that should still be problematic.
He has to dive in the plant.
And that's not gonna happen. Time simply makes the difference. Rops and Brokey finishing off what Twist starts. 3 kills for Twist on lane side.
I like that they're always working. Still 3v5, and it looked like they're still giving FaZe a hard time.
Still 3v5 and still with multiple options,
Yeah.
B split. Rock back to A. Twists shuts this one down. Gives FaZe 5 more rounds to win in regulation.
As long as FaZe keep playing with confidence, I don't really have doubts that they could potentially pull this back. This is not too much of a score line to get back into the game. But the quality of CS from Copenhagen is very high. Hard to ignore. And Nikodaz finds another opening. T-side up. Efficacy has been high for him.
He continues on. Up Banana. Oh, but Rops will bring it back with a frag towards Roy. This could still just transition Copenhagen Flames into the B hit, but they're smoked off, and there's 2 counter-terrorists in position. They leave. Or do they? Stalling for a second.
Look at the amount of mollies left. They can do a full exec. Carp at the back of the B site. Brokey has only a HE to defend against this. His teammate in Kerrigan has no utility. They cannot stop this site hit from within the site.
And Rops' smoke, the only smoke all the way over in pit. So it's headshots or not for FaZe.
Kerrigan's in a spot where he might not get mollied. Second orange is molly coming in. Could be on him.
Site's blanketed in flames. Literally with the players also here, but Brokey cuts off the front 2. Hooksy and Nikodaz trying to round that corner. Twist starts to put shots through smoke. Brokey the new mag. A player goes over, Brokey goes wide, and Brokey goes down to Hooksy. Bomb plant is a fake. Twist peeks, hits the first and second. And in back-to-back rounds, Twist starts to come alive.
Oh, with the target selection, he takes the rifler up, but Nikodaz misses his shot. That could have made the difference. Man, that rested on fine margins. Brokey had to stand in the middle of nowhere and hope that they wouldn't continue running at him because he was able to fall back to quad after the molly expired. He didn't have his smoke to connect the emo pillar to quad and stand behind that as you would naturally do on CT side. And Kerrigan ate the full brunt of the God Flash, sitting up on top of oranges, waiting for the sight hit to come down. He knew he just had to sacrifice, just kill as many people as he could and go down. Instead, he relied on Brokey on that rifle, and they've been impoverished. Brokey hasn't had the op on CT side in a couple of rounds now, but now he'll take this from Nikodas, and they'll try again. What a shot! Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, Nikodas has been a terror.
Honestly, Brokey, perfect position to deal with them shooting at Kerrigan. So even though Kerrigan's blind and gets nothing, he had both of them looking up.
That's true. He had a nice little off angle there.
Tethered very nicely with his IGL. Did what he had to keep FaZe's hopes alive here on Inferno. But 6 map points turned to 4. Brokey, what more can he offer as right now?
Ooh, his rotation's slightly worse. He
this
waits.
Is sketchy.
Yeah, there's only one here on the site, and Rops, he doesn't want to stay inside the halls. He's going to look to try to get something.
Oh, but there's actually nobody in halls to deal with him. So it ends up working, and Twists again just comes out of the smoke. The Magician throws himself into the mix. 2 versus 4. They've got this site under wraps. Rops comes back, dies to Zyphon. Next challenge is Twists on the fresh Khalil. Nikodas in the corner goes down, and FaZe continue on.
They're starting to heat up a bit. They're starting to heat up, especially, you pointed it out, Twists very quiet up until this point, and Rops could not buy a trade inside of halls. Everybody who came in there were having their way with him, and now he's starting to at least win some of his fights. But it all comes with the fact that they aren't changing the way they play. They're continuously taking the same challenges they would normally, and now the only difference is that they're winning. But Flames just need one. They've got 2 tack pauses left. Of course, there is a chance for OT. The money's not great right now, so FaZe know they can rest slightly.
Copenhagen Flames not the only team on 15. Vitality, 7 map points over Big.
Oh, okay, so they're playing well. That was a huge question of whether or not Vitality would be showing some good form. You know, they look good versus Liquid, but of course Liquid didn't look great, so.
Comes Twists. Oh, just sectioning those off, and it felt like he had just enough cover to keep himself away from Roy, who also tried to push a smoke on timing to get a trade back to help his own teammates. Instead, it's Twists very quickly climbing that scoreboard, surpassing Rops, nearly catching Rain and Brokey. And after the tack pause called from the Copenhagen Flames, with still 2 more in their back pocket, they'll come in with the half buy here. Armored Tech 9s for the most part, a Deagle on Zyphon, tidbits of utility. But they have burned. Oh, okay. Kerrigan, how dare you? Last bullet, just find it, Jabby. They are halfway through that pool of map points that they had. From 6 to 3. Still only needing 1.
2 riflers B inspires more confidence on the anti-ecos than 1 op, 1 rifle. If something goes wrong with Brokey, is one of the dedicated site players. If that op gets the quad, I feel like Nikodas could win the round by himself. But right now, FaZe just understand exactly what's going on. They've taken the space back out of halls. Rob's on the full flank. He can come in super late. There will be no saves here. They're making sure the late arch isn't under question. Brokey gets into the site, and Kerrigan wins his.
Ooh, but there are still 2 kills in from pistols. Brokey with his sidearm. The Deagle goes dry, and Nikodas gives great cover. Then Twist, able to find one through smoke, but Zyphon has his hands on an op.
With smokes.
And the bomb. And with 35 seconds, Rops looking to maybe climb over top of oranges. Zyphon fake plant once, and that's where Rops is going to end this one. But a little spice, a little life for the Copenhagen Flames when they're not meant to.
That's literally what I was talking about. It's scary op being in a quad position. If the pistolers get a lucky frag and they overwhelm the op, then suddenly at post plant, even if you have nothing else to work with, I'm talking no armor, no nades, an op can win you the round if there's not enough retake utility. But FaZe handle it. Give themselves a real chance to pull this back.
2 more to go.
But I mean, every single round has been a fight. There have been no easy rounds here for FaZe.
No, this is
very great CS we're seeing. I mean, out of both squads, maybe FaZe will look at themselves and say, we're not playing our best today. Our core hasn't completely shown up, but I mean, you can give credit to Copenhagen Flames for making that as difficult as possible.
they're starting to shine, starting to polish.
Oh, Kerrigan's on the op. 2, actually, in this situation. We've seen it before. He's even primary op on his teams in the past. And with his form right now, I believe in it more. I think he's kind of resigned to being a bottom fragger in the past and really said, okay, I'm going to set up my teammates every time. But I think he's given himself more respect, not only as a leader, but also as a fragger, and has put more individual emphasis on his team play. And it's definitely paid off. FaZe do not close out tournaments without him, even as an individual.
Oh, man.
Whoa, this is getting
alone.
very close to Rain. I mean,
oh, but he gets Hooksy all the way
he's
in the
using his
back.
entire mag.
But there's 4 more players right there. Rain just sets himself up to die, and Kerrigan misses his 1 chance, his 2nd one as well. Tech9's out. He tries to wrap back around Coffins. Brokey coming over and hoping somebody would climb, but that's not the case.
They have 2 ops on this retake.
Oh, this is not ideal. T's deep in this bomb site. And Kerrigan already on the backside of Coffins. We get a patient look from Twists down mid, but eventually he is going to have to come up banana and deal with Yabby. Nikadaw's on the new box. Flash to the top side of the site. Rob pushes out, sees the shoulder of Zyphon and deals with that one. Can Roy bring it back? First kills his versus Kerrigan and a double into Rob's. But here's Twists in from banana. And the Deagle of Brokey starts to work out. Twists, labored spray, now the last man up, and Copenhagen Flames have gotten this round in the bag. There is simply no time left. 16-13.
What is that? They pull it off, getting into the B site, but I feel like that was FaZe allowing that to happen. As soon as Rain got a kill, he used the rest of his bullets. There were 4 Ts waiting for that moment, and as soon as they knew he was going to reload, they pushed through. It was obvious. There was no support there either. The op had left in that situation. That was the most standout mistake that we've seen from FaZe this whole game, but for the whole